So this is part two, continuity of government, tribesmen, and military public notice. This is the Q&A aspect, so I'll be prepared to take questions from uh, people concerning the public notice and the government rollout and what we should be looking for. If you have other questions, try to limit those and try to stay to what the public service announcement was about because this is important information to get out to the people. So, the Queen Bey, you first up. Oh, well, since it's chiefing with the chief, I might as well start chiefing. That's all. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing
Uh,
good. How you doing, sweetie?
I'm I'm doing real good. I'm doing good, real good. Good to hear and speak to you. But I have a
Thank you. I
question.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. I guess it's considered in the political area. With because I have a home my parents had, but I had family living in it and it went into foreclosure. So with that, I'm in California. So being in California, I've been hearing these attorneys, they rip you off. And I really believe I just dealt with it. I just dealt with it because I had someone to help me. Um, um,
Listen,
Go
listen.
ahead, go ahead.
In the situation where we fighting mortgages from banks, keep
Hmm.
y'all records. If you
Okay.
don't have the records of your fight, you you can't prove you was fighting this enemy.
Mm,
Anybody who put up a valiant fight against this enemy and can show they work will be compensated for it. Everybody gonna be compensated at fault.
hmm.
Even if you thought the right way to fight was to go into their legal system and try to fight for what was yours, which
Yeah.
that don't work because it's not our legal system. It's the legal system of a foreign agency.
Oh.
So anytime we write, the odds are stacked against us 100 to 1. When we
Hmm.
wrong, we are more likely to come out successful than if we right
Oh,
because
okay.
the system
Now
is predicated upon supporting the dirt and not liberating the righteous.
it's so bad.
This
Bad.
is all over. You got to
Okay.
remember,
Okay.
they took all of the land from our grandparents in the early 1900s going into the 1800s through sharecropping agreements. And
Yeah.
they did everything they could to force the default from burn down the farms to run off the fathers out the house at gunpoint, trying to kill them if they don't lynch them, just so that they can default on the sharecropping agreement. Because we
Yeah.
didn't believe in selling land, they had to use a deceptive strategy and tactic to wrestle
Hmm.
the land from the natives. Because don't none of us believe in that. To us,
Hmm.
selling the land is the same as selling your mother or your child,
I
right?
see. Uh-huh.
And so, but they will sell us, their parents and their children, and won't have any remorse. And we will hurt somebody about our parents and our children. This is the easiest way to tell the difference in them and us.
Yeah, true. I remember
They
all that.
value the fiat currency. We value the actual relationships one to another where we can aid and assist and support each other just in the name of love.
Hmm.
They don't believe in that. They believe that that's being a pushover, and that
Okay.
if you kind-hearted like that, that they obligated to take advantage of you until they can dirty up your heart.
That's what it looked like she did. Oh, bitch. Oh, okay. I'm just being real. And then she wouldn't let me contact her. And every time you contact her, she would charge you. I didn't know that. I didn't know they charge you when every time you speak. But I hadn't even spoke to her but twice. And then the assistant called me, and I had to write her back and said, "You sent your dogs," instead of calling her what I thought. You sent your dogs at me. I don't know why you trying to contact me now. You didn't took it. You didn't hired somebody. And now, now I got to figure out what else I'm going to do. But,
That was the lawyer you talking about?
yeah, the attorney. Yeah.
Do you
That
know who they work
attorney.
for? They don't
Yeah, I
work
got
for you.
the company. I got the company
No,
name and
no, no, no,
everything.
no,
Her
no,
name.
no, no.
Okay.
That's a
Okay.
point of origin who they work for.
I guess I have to look that one up.
Okay,
Origins? Okay.
I'm gonna walk you through it so that when you look it up, it's gonna be easy for you to track what I'm saying.
Okay.
Every attorney, prosecutor, and judge is a member of the bar.
All right. And I heard that was already no more with Empress. She spoke
Right.
of that.
The bars, all of these bar members are foreign agents. I'm about to get to that part. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now, all bar associations is tied to what's known as the American Bar Association that was headquartered in DC.
Uh-huh. In
They
DC.
The American Bar Association exists on a charter of the Savannah Bar Association that was chartered by King George III in 1863.
Mm.
One of my Instagrams, my Morpheus Mysticus pages, has the charter. And in the charter, the attorney's job is to steal whatever they can from us in any way they can steal it. It's in the charter.
Mm-hmm.
It's not perturbedly, it's not made up. It's in the charter that when King George chartered them, he told them that their job was to wrestle the resources from the people of the land, which is us,
Uh-huh.
and to put it in the holdings of the crown. That's their job,
That's who?
right? That's the job of all lawyers,
Oh,
judges, and
snaps.
prosecutors. Now,
Okay.
the Emancipation Proclamation never freed a slave, first and
Okay.
foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Emancipation means to allow you to roam freely, what they call manumission, meritorious manumission. Declaration
Mm-hmm.
mean they said it out loud,
Okay.
right?
We
So
we
they
know they gotta do
said
that.
that you can walk off the plantation now. They didn't say the war was over. Because in
Uh-huh.
order to free the slaves in truth, they would have to actually end the war. The
Okay.
war wasn't over until July the 4th, 2019.
Hmm. Okay. I didn't know that much. July
Right.
4th. Okay.
While
Mm,
the war was going on, we were obligated to learn the legalese and become
mm,
nationals or gain a nationality in order to effectively navigate the nature of the contract,
mm.
right? This
Yeah.
goes back to Noble Drew Ali discovered it in 100 years ago. He said the nationality is the order of the day. Because once you was able to draw from a nationality, you can now gain control of the contract that you don't know you under. But by
Mm.
taking control of your national status gave you the information that you needed in order to know the nature of the contract,
Okay.
right?
Mm.
Now, 100 years later, nationality expires with all legal fictions in maritime and admiralty jurisdictions. That's
Okay. Yeah. I heard about that.
those are the laws that govern the high seas. Those are not the laws that is supposed to be applied on land.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But during the time of war, when the territory is occupied, the
Mm.
admiralty jurisdiction becomes the salvage keepers, which means they're responsible for salvaging and going over the loot that's been pillaged from the nation that was at war. and to make
Mm-hmm.
an accounting for it so that the king who sent them know what he's receiving from the occupied territory annually,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
This is why they had what's called tax season.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Tax season is economically corralling the financial laborers into a time frame to make bookkeeping more simple.
Hmm.
If you get it all done in a month period, you don't have to drag it out for the rest of the year. You can then go about looking for which ones are using the system correctly to overcome the contract of debt.
So where exactly
Those
would I
who
need to
were
go?
those who were learning how to override the debt system and become wealthy
Yeah.
became targets for the IRS and tax agents, which is a private collection agency. Also, this one is chartered out of Switzerland. And
Mm.
the IRS pay the dividend taxes that's collected to the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund to maintenance the central banking network. They,
All right.
they do not use tax dollars of anybody over here to do infrastructure or run government.
Uh-huh.
The
Uh-huh.
only thing they use is debt instruments to finance the running the government that they supply out of printing it up themselves.
Hmm.
And then they leverage those oil producing nations under OPEC and Aramco to back the fiat with the oil for the appearance of being backed by substance. But
Okay.
really, it wasn't the fiat, the oil that was backing the fiat. It was the fiat regulating the price of the oil. So
Mm.
now, on the redemption side of it, we seized everything that was ours. And up on inspection of the books, it was all ours.
All right,
So
true.
since it was all ours, we seized everything. So your records become your proof that you fought the beast in the way that you knew how. And then when they see in the Esquire on your paperwork, one of them people call themselves attorneys, it's an
Mm-hmm.
automatic conflict of interest to be settled in the favor of the damaged party, which is you.
Okay.
Because you can't have a bar attorney that goes to a bar attorney to tell another bar attorney what to do. They all on the same page. Ain't
Yeah.
none of them
Mm-hmm.
working for us.
Mm-mm. Even the
They
court
expose
system.
themselves. They expose themselves in the carrying of the titles of nobility, which is prohibited by the state and by the federal government. Article in the first article of the U.S. Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. Constitution was not to govern the people. It was used for the people to govern the government.
Hmm.
But when they switched to constitutions, they changed our perception of the function of the instrument. So
Yeah.
now the people are no longer holding the government to the task. The government is oppressively browbeating the people into submission with policy enforcers that's also chartered out of London, England, that we call the police,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our sheriffs are are supposed to be elected officials. They are not supposed to ever be appointed because they're supposed to be put in as a system of checks and balance between the law enforcement division of the corporation that's occupying the territory and the people who the corporation wished to take advantage of. The buffer was supposed to have been the sheriffs. When the
Yeah.
police got out of line, you were supposed to be able to call the sheriff to solve the matter.
Okay.
They do that no
Mm-hmm.
more because the uniform system of the
Mm-hmm.
uniform commercial system And the miseducation of the people got the people that's performing the function of the sheriff of the land actually working for the same people that the policy enforcers is working for now. But
Mm,
it's still
so
an
they
elected
all in it.
position.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's still an elected position, and the sheriff can be called to be replaced at any time by the county as long as the people choose to replace them with one that worked for the people. They know by the sheriff that's in office and the communication between the community and the deputies which kind of sheriff is in office. Most of them was put
Hmm.
up to run for office by people that was other law enforcement agents. Like
I
the
believe that.
police of the local cities might put up their homeboy. Hey, you don't need to be a beat cop. We need you to go run for sheriff. You
See,
charismatic. You got a nice smile. The people believe everything you saying.
see,
And they put
I'll be
all of their
damned.
dirty players in every one of the offices.
Hmm. Sad, but I see it's changing. I see.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm bringing it up to you because I was wondering what in the hell can I do because I don't know. I got peace. I'm not pissed off. I wanted to cuss the bitch out. I did. But you know what? I just said, you know what? I'm going to let the universe take care of it because I already know judgment coming to her ass. But I wanted to
Listen,
understand. Go ahead.
Judgment Day is over. They are
Mm.
about to burn, so to speak.
Snaps. Wow. Okay. Okay. All
The
right.
people gonna first be confused because the people, a lot of them don't know what I'm talking about, and that I'm trying to have them prepared. So when they see the National Guard, they know that they under the direction of the tribes. They're not under the direction of the political government.
Mm.
The
Okay.
military is now under the control of the tribes out of the Raven Rock, Colorado continuity of government with the tribes of the land,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people are unaware of that. So when they start seeing these National Guard troops showing up, they're gonna panic a little bit because of the diet woke people keep telling them that we about to get invaded by somebody and all this, the scare tactics that they're using, so they'll be good and saturated with fear by the time the National Guard step up to take control of the land,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Now they're going to be systematically teaching us how to police our own communities
Mm-mm.
and how to solve problems locally before you need a broader reach of government to be intervening in your business. That's like you and your husband at home arguing and one of your kids called a family reunion and put y'all on speaker.
Mm-mm. Mm.
Y'all don't want to be on speaker. Y'all won't have to go answer to the whole goddamn family. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can answer to big mama and auntie, but goddamn, the whole family hear this shit.
Okay.
We don't want the
Damn.
whole family. Then some of the people in the family were wishing bad on you so bad that your shit don't go right just to hear you arguing. You don't even want them to have the satisfaction of knowing it was an argument in your
Okay.
house.
That's true.
You
That's true.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's the same way with them people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, put their ass on blast.
Mm-hmm.
I've been dragging all their dirty laundry out for 5 years, but people thought I was crazy at first. Now they
Well,
see.
well, good, because she needs to see, because she haven't got the memo yet. I'm so what you're saying, you think I shouldn't do anything, just wait, or just sit and wait? I mean, just sit or do something about it. Go to the charter bar, you're saying?
Listen, if you feel like you know a course of action that you may be able to benefit from,
Hmm.
step on it. That's the one you do. If
I'm
you
such a fighter. I didn't want to do this shit,
but
but
look,
it laid in my lap.
if
So,
if you don't think if you don't think you see an avenue in which you can get proper relief,
hmm.
just keep your records and keep fighting however you know how. Your
Okay.
records, when Big Mama say, for all of the ones who've been fighting this enemy for your property, we
Hmm.
need y'all to go to the small business administrator so y'all can see a counselor. The
Okay.
counselor is going to be an assessor of what you was fighting for, who you was fighting, what kind of representation you had, what kind of representation they had, right?
Hmm.
What kind
Yeah.
of fiduciary oversaw the process? They all foreign agents.
Okay. Yeah. If it's
So
from another country, yeah.
once it's discovered that all foreign agents and you was the only organic person to the land in the complaint because they all had an allegiance to a foreign agency, Big Mama gonna say pay her whatever she was asking for in that fight.
Mm.
And it's not
Okay.
coming
Okay.
from them. It's gonna be coming from us cleaning up the shit that these other people left behind.
Hmm.
Make sure
Okay.
everybody is properly compensated. I got a brother man up in Flint. He from same area in Chicago as me in the Crenshaw district, and the same first name as mine, Rodney.
Okay.
He got his family's been fighting this government for almost 300 years, and he got all the records.
Mm. Mm.
He gonna
Okay.
be easy to settle his claim
Mm.
fast because he have all the records. But some of the other people, we got to give them a record researcher to go down with their family to pull records that they don't even know the family's supposed to know about.
Mm. Okay.
Right?
I'm
So
go. I may
we have to,
know. Yeah, I may
yeah,
know, but where would I need to pull the records at? I might know, but I'm just asking a question because I might not.
uh, it depends on where you at because some places kept them in libraries, some kept them in courthouses, and some
Okay.
have what's called a hall of records. Right?
Okay.
So once we figure out where we from, we know what
Hmm.
type of location to look. But
Okay.
remember, turn down a lot of courthouses and libraries to destroy a lot of our records. On purpose, they did it. It wasn't an accident. But in
Mm.
the
Okay.
history books and the newspaper, it's always some corny cause for the fire that doesn't make sense.
But you think they still did that? I mean, even today, I mean,
Well,
do
your
you still
records
think?
can only go back until they burn to where they burned up at. From
Oh.
there on, you got a whole new set of records. You don't have the records that got burnt up.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can't pull it unless somebody in your family had duplicates.
Hmm. Okay.
Now, a lot of Mississippians and people from the dark thicket woods of Alabama and Louisiana have records where the copies got burned up in the courthouse, but they kept the
Mm.
copies in a
Okay.
family chest. That's what a lot of us had, a family chest. One of our uncles had a footlocker in the attic full of paperwork and books,
Okay.
right? A lot of us don't know about it. Some people it was their
Mhm.
grandfather, some people it was their grandmama. But those were records that they was keeping because they family records that help in the restructuring and retracing where we came from, and we can get back to our actual bloodline if we
Hmm.
choose to.
All right.
But we're going to be coming up with new names for our tribes. We're not going to be using all of the ones they gave us, and
Mm-hmm.
almost all of the ones we see now they gave us. Those are exonyms of the organic tribes of the land that the settlers used to draw paperwork up in our name.
You mean like Choctaw? Because I know that's what I am. Choctaw, Cherokee.
The
My
right,
mother Choctaw.
right,
Yeah.
Choctaw is a mispronunciation. It's an English pronunciation of Chata. And
Oh.
the Louisiana, the French pronounce it Chata like it's supposed to be pronounced. But as you move toward the East Coast and you get more into the territory controlled by the English,
Mm-hmm.
then it changes from Chata to Choctaw.
Mm-hmm.
And then they
Okay.
write it different. Now it look like you two different tribes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
then we had tribal groupings where we made agreements among tribes trying to help us figure out how to solve this problem. these agreements is manifesting now in the lives of the descendants of those who made the agreement.
Mm.
In order to reclaim our birthright, we probably was promised to marry somebody, right? We don't know who we supposed to marry, but the ancestors will create the conditions so at the close of the age when you wake up, you be with the person that they promised their parents or whoever they made the agreement with that you would marry.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're like, how the hell that happened? I'm your soulmate. No, you ain't. You my ancestor, and your ancestors plotted this shit 1,300 years ago. Here I am with you. I ain't mad,
That's funny.
but now I see,
Okay.
but across those tribes, um, the chiefs learn how to read the energy, and we can read the different tribes have different cultures. Different tribes had different marital rights,
Okay.
right? You had monogamous tribes, you had polygamous tribes, you had polygynous tribes and polyandry tribes, but they were all different tribes. You had tribes where we sent guys that were, you have these particular class of women that got a knack that know how to soothe raging men. And she might have to have 5 or 6 of them so she can use the rest of them to keep the one in line. And then before you know it, they all in line. They training these men to be husbands, right?
You mean right now?
But they
Are you
don't.
just saying late
No,
earlier?
this is one of the tribal customs that was on the land before the settlers came. I was just going
Oh,
over it with you.
oh, okay. All right. I
Right.
see.
Then you have those tribes who was monogamous. They one man, one woman stayed together. They didn't care what happened. You wasn't breaking them up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you had different marital rituals that different tribes used.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the Maori tribes use tattoo rituals where when the son get of a certain age, he'll get a tattoo. He might get something that indicate who his wife gonna be from the other tribe over there and who her father is. And it'll be clues to her bloodline and his tattoos. Just the premise of a wedding. Those are ancient ways. Most of it is gone now,
Yeah.
but we play out a modern interpretation of the ancient ritual.
I'll be glad they come back. I'm not lying because these fools here,
Well, the
no
problem is
respect. No respect.
when you legislate a thing, the most people should benefit from it. But some stuff you got to leave to the legislation of the local area because the custom is different.
Yeah.
You can't force one culture on all of the clans. That's why I keep telling everybody that it was probably some Moors over here, but we wasn't all Moors that was here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is how we know the difference between the ones we call righteous Moors and the ones we call dirty Moors. A lot of righteous Moors have lost favor with me because they believe when I talk about the dirty Moors that I'm blanketing all Moors.
I've
That's
heard them.
not what I'm doing. That don't even make sense when I'm quoting Noble Drew Ali, C. Freeman Hill, right? Taj Tariq Bey, Hakeem Bey. I'm quoting these Moorish elders because they gave us some information that y'all need to pay attention to. Y'all must didn't listen to Noble Drew Ali when he said get a good Moorish education, because you would know the difference in me calling out dirty Moors and that this is part of the redemption of the Moorish Science Temple that Noble Drew Ali wrote about if you know how to read the tribal language.
Yeah. They just like to debate. That's all I see. Well,
No,
they not believing you.
no, some of them have the right intentions. But
Okay. Okay.
you can have the right intentions and still be being misled without knowing it,
Hmm. It sounds like
right? You don't,
Christianity.
remember, they tell us all the time the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Just because your intentions is good, don't mean you haven't been lied to and misled, and that you perpetuating falsehood that you have no clue that you perpetuate.
Right.
Because you believe, based on how you got it and who you got it from, that it is foundational truth.
Right. Right. I feel
Right.
you on that one. I
So
feel you.
this why I don't have a problem with all morals. I got a
Hmm.
problem with specifically dirty morals. And if they
Mm.
go to Sister Freedom channel, um, it'll come to me the name of it in a minute. But I was on there with Taj Tariq Bey, and I asked him to describe what a dirty moral was and what a righteous moral was, so they'll know the difference when I'm talking about the dirty morals versus when I'm quoting one of the righteous morals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be ruthless on the dirty moral, and all the
Hmm.
righteous morals gonna be the same ruthless I am.
Yeah.
The
I've
only
been
difference
listening to you.
is, yeah, the only difference I'm growth and development. I'm one of their Hoover boys.
Hmm. Hmm.
So they'll accept it coming from a righteous moral, but they're not going to accept it coming from what they consider an outsider. It becomes a rallying cry for war to defend the whole tribe. But they're not listening to what I'm saying compared to what they founder told him, so they can know that I'm not the enemy. I just came so that they can clean their house up.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they start waking up. I believe they are, but hopefully they do. Because I
Mm-hmm.
learned you don't just listen to one person, you listen to others. And sometimes when it comes together, and then you'll see that there's the truth. My mother always said that. You got a choice. If for the truth. But I'm saying there's three truths: your way, the other way, and the real truth. I'm not saying it correctly, but that's the way I'm seeing it right now. That's how I
Respect.
see it.
Look,
Yeah,
you can believe something with all your heart and soul and
yeah.
be 100% wrong.
Mm,
Just because you believe it with your whole heart and soul, it's not going to make wrong turn into right.
yeah,
It don't matter what you do. It's not going to happen.
yeah. I feel you what you're
Right.
talking about. I feel you. I'm
In the
serious. I
church,
see that.
they have us believing that if we believe with all our heart and soul, that all our wrong is going to miraculously turn into right through some
Mm.
process
And
called
I've
being
always
saved.
been told we going to hell. If you don't do it that way, you going to hell. I don't care what
Yeah.
you
But
say.
that's, yeah. So that's those fire and brimstone evangelical damnation preachers.
Yeah, the fear ones put fear in you, so they can control you. And don't read
Mm-hmm.
no more books either. Because you're going to
Yeah.
hell that way too. That's what I've
Anybody
been
or
taught.
anything that tell you that you can only listen to one person is
Hmm.
trying to control you.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
Most people
definitely.
don't know that when they tell you, "Oh, if it ain't in the Bible, I don't believe it." That mean they under the control of the person that gave them the Bible.
Yeah, I've heard
They just
my
haven't
friends say
realized
that.
it yet. Yeah.
I'm trying to wake them up on that one. I'm serious. I have
We
a girlfriend. I love her
passed
to
that.
death.
We passed that.
Yeah.
Shock and all gonna wake them
Hmm.
up.
Okay.
Shock
Okay. I don't
and all
force
gonna wake them
nothing.
up.
Yeah, you can't force nothing on nobody, But the words I say, I'm just hoping she remembers because that's my sister. I love her so much. So, so I just let her say whatever the rant she want to do.
And
And
listen,
yeah.
did nobody tell you that a wrongdoer that's related to you that you're not allowed to love them?
Hmm. Okay.
That's you don't have to condone what they doing. You don't have to agree with it. That don't mean you don't love them.
Hmm.
You just don't agree with their behavior
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the group they run with, right?
Hmm. Right.
That means you can still and you don't have to associate with people just because you love them.
Uh-huh. That's true.
That's a big misconception. You think because somebody love you that they supposed to be in your armpit all the time. You a
Sure.
slave
Mm-hmm.
driver. Don't even know
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
Right? So that means that you can have somebody that you dearly love that won't never do right, that you ain't never got to see again and feel no way bad about it because you still love them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm dealing with that now. I really am. I
That's
truly am.
life. That's part of
Yeah.
life. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why people come in our life for a season.
Mm.
Some
Always
people
say
get
that.
to some people get to go to duration, but everybody not going where you going. But y'all
Yeah.
might be jumping the same bus temporarily until y'all switch directions and go in y'all separate ways.
Mm. Okay. I hear you on that part. I really do.
Yeah.
Damn. Sometimes
This
it's
is
hard.
the journey. This is the journey around the Monopoly board, the plutocracy board, in the game called life, where
Mm.
we
Yeah.
all come to experience some shit called emotions, because we don't have emotions when we not in physical form.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
when the physical form, we get to experience the emotion
Mm.
of the hurt and the pain and the misery. And we
The
also get
disrespect.
to feel
I
yeah,
call
and
it.
then we also get to experience the flip side, the conquest, the victory, the
Yeah.
wealth, the plenty,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And sometimes it's better to take the hard part first so you could say the best for last and cruise on
Yeah.
home in style,
Yep.
right?
And that is to love yourself. That's what I'm seeing. Cause I did all that cruising with that hatred and all that shit that come with the mess. Oh, and I don't want to do it no more. I just leave them behind. Miss me with that one. I ain't got no time for it. For real though. For
Yeah.
real.
So
Yeah.
did I answer all your questions, sweetie?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe you did. I just need to look up in the records to see what I can work out. And I'm gonna can I ask one more question? I
Mm-hmm.
hope I know I'm on here long and I'll give somebody a chance. My last name, I always wanted to understand my last name. My last name, is my dad. Well, of course. How'd I say that? It's
Now I don't know
Wyatt.
what all of them
This
mean, but if I know what it mean, I sure tell you.
okay, Wyatt. What does that? It just says something in white because the people call me White or Watts. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
why it's a derived name from the word white.
oh, okay, okay, okay. You
It's a
just okay.
pronunciation drawl of the deep south,
Mm-hmm.
and people couldn't pronounce it and they couldn't spell it because we wasn't English speaking people.
Mm-hmm.
So white became white.
Mm, okay. They also call me Watts too, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
You said White. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
those ones Watts California is named after the Skywalker clans.
Mm,
The
okay, that's
Skywalker
nice.
clans, yeah, they was those the ones who responsible to call forth the thunder and the lightning.
Oh,
Today
it's okay.
in
Makes
modern
sense.
times, we call them treetop Pyrus or
Mm-hmm.
we call them sea walking crips. Crooked
Mm,
man walking.
yeah, I see your videos.
Mhm.
I love them.
Right. That's the modern version of those ancient tribes.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hmm.
So the more they sea walking, that the energy out of balance, you're gonna have a thunderstorm there,
Oh yeah.
lightning storm.
Yeah. Mm,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Yep. I'm keeping up with that Tupac. I love him. I cried when I heard he died. But now I'm seeing other stuff. It's like, hey, okay, Oak
But
Town, all right,
Pac wrote the
see you.
realest shit he ever wrote in Hard to Find.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You remember that song?
Which
We Ain't Hard to Find?
yeah, I believe so. Right now I can't know the names, but I probably have to listen to it because I
Listen to what
listen to
he
a lot of his.
said. This is what
Okay.
Tupac said. He said, heard a rumor I died, murdered in cold blood, dramatized. Pictures and being my final stages. You know, mama cried. That shit was fiction. Some coward got the story twisted. like I no longer existed, mysteriously missing.
Okay, I have to listen to it again. But I love him anyway. He got so many
Look,
songs
then he
I
got
didn't
one
even
say, "You
know.
can't see me." And if you
Uh-huh.
can't see me, he said, "I'll be right before your very eyes, but you won't even realize that you can't
Mm-hmm.
see me."
Uh,
So when I tell people he was at the All Eyes premiere with Shock G, they doing sign
uh-huh.
language and ain't nobody catching it. And he right before their very eyes, and they don't even
What
realize
you
they can't see
say?
him.
What you say?
He
It's all right. It's
used
all right.
Hollywood makeup to make him look different when he's going in front of the camera.
Okay, they do. They can do that now. We see that
Yeah,
Biden.
yeah. Now keep in mind, everybody in Hollywood and everybody in Hollywood loved Tupac. The
Mm.
makeup people loved him. The script writers loved him. The stunt men loved him.
Hmm.
Just like he used to go walk around the hood, he used to walk around the movie set and speak to somebody called a key grip.
Uh
Who the
huh.
fuck is the key grip? What's his
Yeah.
job? But
Yeah.
it
What
come
the hell?
up in the credits on the screen, the key grip name is up there. But
Oh.
Tupac wanted to meet the whole entourage that was making the film. He didn't just want to meet the other actors and the producer and the director. He wanted
Oh, I remember
to
seeing the
meet the guy that
video.
worked in the coat rack while they
Mm,
making the movie. What made you get this job? Where you from? His
mm,
curiosity was like that about people. And
to see that.
because he was coming straight from a genuine place, they feel a heart connection and never forgetting because of it. And it makes their life have a very powerful, colorful memory, which is how you give power to one of the gods when they in human form,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
So they want to hear your story so you can hit them in the heart chakra with that struggle you've been through so they can give the love back in exchange for your suffering in the heart chakra exchange.
Oh, all right.
So do healing people in basic conversation just by listening to them with an open heart and no for no cause, just because you're
Mm-hmm.
there,
Oh, okay.
right? Some people will
Mm-hmm.
quick to tell you their story in order to just like confessing to a priest.
Yeah, I feel
But
like
then some
sometimes you're under
people,
spell
so yeah,
doing
but
that.
then some people, if you ask their story, they become defensive and it's because they ain't all good.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay,
know their
that makes
story, you get to
sense.
find out they dirt just like you find out the dirt they went through.
Mm-hmm. The lies have come out. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. That makes sense. That makes sense. Damn. Okay. All right then. I'm so glad I spoke to you.
Okay, sweetie. I'm gonna let you
All
drop
right.
down and I'm gonna take somebody else, okay?
All right then, right.
All right,
Have a
sweetie.
good one.
You too. Mia the goddess, you up, sweetie? Hey, I don't want to hear y'all say nothing if y'all get too many sisters calls because the last one they wouldn't even let me take no sisters. I had to take all dudes.
I know. I remember. How are you?
How
Thank you so much.
you doing, sweetie?
Good. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. You got
Good.
a
Good.
beautiful glow.
Thank you. Thank you. I guess I blame it on put it on motherhood. So recently, just got inducted to the best hood, the motherhood. So I'm gonna put it on there. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's the energy when you first feel that you got it all under control. You seeing your babies laying there peacefully sleeping. You look over there, your hubby, he full sleep, farting in the bed. You know, you look
Absolutely.
around the house, cleaning all done, and then you realize that you got
Yeah.
this. I'm mama now.
Yes. Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
energy shift for a woman, that's when she really glow like you glowing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so
That's
much.
that feng shui of the spirit.
Hmm.
That's the highest expression of divine feminine is the when we can call her mother and she walking in that energy. That's how you can go in there with enough food to feed two people, but when you get done cooking it, you feed a house of 12
Yeah,
and have leftovers.
absolutely. From
That's
nothing.
when that the love in the food, soul
Mm-hmm.
food.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. My grandmother always said, she told me when a woman gives birth, death passes by a bed 3 times, And I didn't understand that and I gave birth naturally. And I didn't understand it until I was giving birth and after everything that went through it, I was like, okay, I get grasping my own concept of that. You really do, you transform and morph into something great, from the whole process of birthing the baby, birthing the placenta, the after process, and then still coming down from the hormones of postpartum and all. It's really something to experience, and I'm thankful that I'm able to experience and am experiencing it. Absolutely.
She said death passed by your bed 3 times before you give birth.
Hmm.
And you know what she talking about?
No, can you please elaborate?
The child, as it grows from a zygote to an embryo, it goes through 3 death phases. It's part of its transition. So when it go through each one of them at the trimester,
Hmm.
right? But some women is 7 month carriers, some 10 month carriers. Those are the 9 month babies,
I was
and some is
40 weeks.
12 month carriers,
Okay. Okay.
right? The 12 month carriers, they normally old souls, and the time when women used to carry babies for 12 months is when they first start having boys, but they will automatically have a girl with them.
Mm.
And so that's why they had two teats, because when they chose to start producing the males, they would automatically birth from a twin sister, right? And the twin sister job used to be to teach him how to live in this world.
Mm.
And if you pay attention to a fraternal twin set, it's a boy and a girl. The girl gonna always be leading her brother around, even if he was born first.
Mm.
She'd be literally holding his hand, because that's how the men had to be led around as the Y chromosome was assimilated into the G code or genetic code.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful. So okay. Like I said, I understand, now I understand more in depth. That's amazing. That's amazing. And honestly I have the way I came about in my existence is a little, unique in its own way. Hearing you talking about, the bloodlines and how you come into existence and how you choosing your path before you get in and where you're born, how you're born, stuff. Um, I'm actually from North Carolina. I'm from a small town in North Carolina named Oxford, North Carolina, near
You say Oxford?
Raleigh, Oxford, Oxford.
That's right down the street from me.
Right
Oxford,
down the street from where?
Oxford, Michigan is right down the street from me.
Oxford, Michigan is right down the street from you. Okay, okay. I'm not familiar with Oxford, Michigan.
It's right by Pontiac.
Oh,
I'm in Pontiac now.
okay.
But I had to mention that because that's called a mirror flip, city to city mirror flip.
Hmm.
Right, two oxes evenly yoked. Because if they unevenly yoked, they can't successfully pull the weight.
Wow.
It's a spiritual coded message. it flips out into two Oxfords.
Hmm.
So this is code talk from tribal traditions that's ancient,
Okay.
right? So when you flip me Oxford, I flip Oxford over here,
Mhm.
right? And in the way that it's set up, this part of Michigan where I'm at perfectly matched the ancient ones sitting on the throne in Manly P. Hall's Secret Teachings of All Ages.
Mm.
If you want to see the video I did on it while I was reading it, it's on my Facebook page. It's
Okay.
called Reading Signs in Real Time.
Reading signs in real time.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a, that's like 5 years ago when I first was coming out, and I was waking up to the information, and I was reading that picture from
Mhm.
Manly P. Hall because it was showing me something, and it was showing me the geography of the local land as that painting. His
Wow.
his knees with the red cloth over it is Auburn Hills,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Then he got the eagle at his left foot. That's Clawson, right? Then on his right, upper right, is ox, the blue ox head, the
Mhm.
Taurus, the bull. That's the ox, Oxford.
Wow.
And then over here, you have what's that? Yeah, the eagle, the bull. The man was the right foot. That's the long face chief,
They
the
telling you
happy
that they
face
can
chief.
barely hear you, Chief.
Oh,
They say
somebody called in and probably fucked the sound up. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's a little faint, but I can hear you.
Only way I could fix it is to go out and come back in, but on the replay it should play normal, cause you can hear me. Yeah.
Can you hear me
So
well?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
But that happened when somebody called in while I'm in the middle of a live. It
Mm.
fucks with the sound, and sometimes they have to call back in order to fix it.
So you want me to hang up and call back in, or
It's not you. It's a phone call.
oh,
Somebody
okay,
called in on another line, either a phone call or messenger. Here, let me try something. Ain't nothing else I could do.
okay.
The only thing I could do is end live and come back on.
Or how about I exit out and then I request again?
Hold on, I might be able to do what he said. Hold on.